A very good evening everyone, it's the Suicidal Optimist here once again. I'd like to, if I may this evening, revisit an old friend of mine, the insuperable Pyrrho. The semantics and linguistic gymnastics demonstrated by our pertinacious friend Pyrrho, whilst impressive, do expose a certain manic desperation. Indeed, Pyrrho's postulations are invariably contaminated by systematic bias. They're riddled with inconsistencies and contradictions. When challenged in this regard, Pyrrho becomes a human octopus, squirting a dense cloud of psychobabble into the air, confusing any would-be interlocutor, whilst making good his escape. Basically, Pyrrho, given enough rope, will hang himself repeatedly. Once hog-tied, he always plays the same tired old card. Once Pyrrho's position has become untenable, he will try to salvage his faux pas by contesting the very nature of reality itself. If one is allowed to refute cause and effect and reduce categorical events to conjecture, then science stops and we return to a medieval age. We enter a world where consensus means nothing, where further debate becomes extraneous. Indeed, Pyrrho seems determined to shape reality to suit his own fragile ego and sensibilities. Of course, therein lies yet another glaring contradiction. If there is no unified empirical truth, no effective ground rules, no objective reality, why would Pyrrho argue his corner so vehemently? By his rejection of empiricism, his opinion cannot be informed or indeed hold any more weight than anyone else's. In the absence of any discernible physical reality, the machinations of Yokup are as valid as his. Yet, even against this backdrop of his own design, Pyrrho pushes and proselytizes his brand of philosophy as the de facto template by which we should all be informed. Pyrrho is a narcissist, a despot, a man who cannot and will not accept criticism. Pyrrho will gleefully assign any differing opinion to the trash can, whilst advancing his own wistful mental constructs as somehow worthy of merit. Pyrrho will tenaciously and often incomprehensibly embark on these hedonistic dopamine-fueled tirades without any forethought or any structure given to them. In his arrogance, Pyrrho fails to recognise that a percentage of his audience will be conversant with the subject matter. Of course, as an egotist, he's unable to accept that some will possess a knowledge base that exceeds his own. Again, typical of the narcissist, Pyrrho has a selective view of reality, one he would bend and fold to suit his egocentric temperament. Studies have shown that such stupendous arrogance is exacerbated by the abuse of alcohol and other psychotropic substances. Pyrrho sees himself as an intellectual benefactor where most see a man conflicted and certainly overzealous. In summation, I see in Pyrrho a man with an excellent innate intelligence that has been corrupted by a megalomaniacal temperament. Now, I don't wish Pyrrho to get all disjointed and defensive. I would only ask that he cogitate on these observations and learn to perhaps at least respect the opinion of others.